All right, happy Sunday, everybody. I decided to wait till 7 o'clock. Just got off work and had to eat a little bit first. We got 10 of our Mosaic bundles here. Got them off to the side because they're huge and they take up too much space. When we did the Donruss ones, I know I waited at the end for all the stained glasses so I could put them right into sleeves and whatnot. So we'll do that again. I'm happy to see these are only 49 cards and not 80 like the Donruss ones were. So for some reason I thought they were a little bit more, but we'll still have about 500 cards tonight. That's a pretty hefty break. I'll try to be relatively quick within reason. So those of you who can't watch the break and the game should be able to watch the second half. I won't have the game on, but I'll have the ESPN, game tracker on just next to me, just so we don't have too much sound going on. If anyone wants some updates, I can refresh it real fast. So feel free to ask. It looks like Kyron just scored, and the Rams are up 7-0. After Knicks' injury yesterday, and I didn't get to watch much of the first game, but it sounds like the Patriots took care of business. I don't really have a team to cheer for. I was kind of rooting for Josh Allen. I can't possibly cheer for the Bears. I guess I can't. It feels wrong to cheer for Seattle or the Rams or the Bears. So I'm kind of stuck on who to cheer for. I like Mike Vrabel, so I don't necessarily want the Patriots to win, but I guess if I had to pick a coach, it would be him. So that's where I'm at as a football fan. Just trying to decide who I would like to cheer for, but share your thoughts with that. Anyway, we got 10 of these. We'll do NIL the same we did with Donruss, if you guys remember. I'll just randomize at the end. I know Josh had hit a Arch Manning auto, I believe it was, when he did these Mosaic boxes. The first time I did a Mosaic break, we hit I don't hate Seattle. Their defense really carried me in fantasy this year. As a Packer fan, Seattle's kind of not one of my teams. But I don't hate the organization as far as like who's currently there. That in my brain is just I can't possibly cheer for the teams that had so much success for so long, but that's pretty much all of them right now, except the Bears, and they're last on my list. Anyway, so we'll do the stained glass last. NIL will be randomized at the end. I'll just pull up my phone and do a random number generator, 1 through 32. Whatever team that lands on will be the lucky winner. Can you guys see that list okay? It's a little fuzzy on my side, but it's a little bit bigger with me having all the different things on it. I'll mess with the light color so we don't have that glare, the Mosaic glare. I think that one will be the best. Camera hasn't got a ton of work this year, so might have a little bit of dust on it. But optics should be out soon, and we can run some of those retail box breaks and all that fun stuff. Anyway, we'll get into this one. Good luck to each and every one of you. I think what I'll do is I'll open up 2 at a time. I think that's how I did Donruss. And thankfully we have a few less packs, or less random base cards, I should say. In a way, these are kind of just blasters with the purple scopes, and I really like the purple scopes. I'd opened just one of these on my own. I ended up with 12. I put one in that last break we did, and opened the one. And honestly, every purple scope I had, vet or rookie, I had a decent value on it. Granted, they were a little bit new at the time, or newer at the time, not brand new, but for anyone running an eBay store. Any of you guys that are doing an eBay store, as we go into the championship weekend and the Super Bowl, in years past, I have went kind of hard even on random base cards being listed for either of the teams that are in it. You know, even like for an example, let's see if I find something in my little stack here of cards I got to go through. Don't look like it. Yeah, like I know the Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl a couple years ago, I was listing just like base Mosaic Travis Kelce cards, and I had them at buy now cheaper than I could find anyone else's, and I sold I think 4 or 5 of them in the game. And people just randomly be like, oh, Travis Kelce card, check out. You're not making much, but you're moving some stuff. You're getting reviews. Someone might buy 3 or 4 cards. You never know. All right, I'll get up off my box here. We will get into the Mosaic breaks here, or this Mosaic break here. Good luck to each and every one of you. And break 168, let's go. We are looking for, I heard my quality click. Kaleidoscopes, visionaries, stained glass, and micro mosaics. I believe our main ones. The oversized glasses are pretty cool, actually. If you haven't seen them, I bought a golden off eBay, as I didn't get lucky in the break that I joined. Woody Marks, Michael Irvin, Eric Allen on the Hall of Fame, Trey McBride, David Njoku. If any of you guys don't want your base cards, let me know. I have no problem sending them. Or even if you want me to kind of skim through them and maybe just not send 15 of the same one or whatever, just let me know. If not, I'll send you everything. Jordan Addison, Kyle Williams, Alvin Kamara on the first purple scope, Tesla, Bigsby, and Jamal Anderson. Felt like a little mosaic crumb on here. Alright, just a penny sleeve. Yeah, I agree, Wes. I actually thought that same thought was, how funny would it be to see, Seattle versus the Patriots again, and Seahawks have one of the best ground games in the league. See if they run the ball this time. Was Charbonnet's injury serious, or Wes Chandler, Elway, Colston Loveland, Rondé Barber, Saquon, and a Clowney. Looks like the Bears got 4th and goal. Knowing Johnson, he will go for it again. Tyler Nubin. JT Tuimaloalu. That's a name. Derwin James on the scope. Purdy. Joe Horn with a Travion in the middle. The Bears kind of have the Patriots, sorry, have kind of a crazy two-headed monster running game too. It'd be the fastest Super Bowl we know, just Seahawks and Patriots ground and pound. A.J. Brown. Well, that's goofy. Tuamalalu again. Jade Barron on the rookie scope. Jack Beck. Ayunis and AR. The Anthony Richardson story is kind of crazy. Yeah, I feel like he even lost his backup job with his injury he had this year, with how good Leonard played in some of those games. McGahee, Quinn Ewers, Brian Thomas, Milrow, T-Law, and McDuffie. One of the people I'm most interested to see what they're going to do for their next job is indeed McDaniel. I think he's such a strong offensive-minded guy. If they have a quarterback and some offense, that team should be instantly a contender. Looks like we got a silver here. We got Trey Benson. Trey Harris. Golden Tate. I was hoping that was Tesla. Aaron Rodgers, Ramondre, and Dickerson. Kareem Hunt, Genty, Walter Nolan, Corey Dillon, Dylan Gabriel. Decent stretch of rookies in the first box. Scopes could have been a little bit better. Wes is on the board with Cleveland. Sean's on the board with Genty. I'm just going to unplug this camera really quick. It keeps getting a little fuzzy on me. Alright, looks like we're alright now. Looks like DJ Moore just scored. Alright, box number 2. That worked for at least in the moment here. Every now and then the light just confuses the thing. Jay Stu, Jaden Higgins, AJ Brown, Dart, there we go, Manny. Manny's on the board. Calvin Johnson, I love seeing him in product, even as a Packer fan. Komet, Mumpfield, Christian Watson, James Conner, Mike Singletary. Elway. Kittle. His injury makes me sad. Kelvin Banks. CJ 2K. Love and Goff. Yeah, that was being tough on me. Wes Chandler, Shamar Stewart, Tyler Shuck on the scope, Shadeur right behind him. Two nice cards there. Cleveland hits their rookie. We get a nice. I was actually really impressed with how Shuck played at the end of the year when he was given his opportunity. A good hit there for Russ. Well, I can just see the R, but I'm assuming it's Russ. Laporta. Roddy White, Devin Neal, who came along at the end of the year too. Patty Mahomes on the purple scope, nice hit. K9 and Antonio Gates. Dave, really nice hit. This guy will always have a value. Garrett Wilson, Nick Imanawari, Bryce Young on the silver, and the Brazil game. Oh, Germany game, sorry. Thurman and Will Lutz. I mean, the Panthers made the playoffs this year after, projected to be absolutely nothing. Larry Fitz, Luther Burden, Ricky White, CeeDee Lamb on the notoriety, Patrick Willis and a Tyreek. Was it Burden who dropped the early touchdown, or was it a Dunze? I saw that just when I was getting ready, and I forgot now. I'm not super familiar with Ricky White. Wes knows Ricky White. But almost guaranteed. DJ Giddens and a Stafford on the notoriety. I'm truthfully, appreciative that we're doing this break because these 10 boxes take up a lot of space. 10 of these compared to 10 blasters. Another product I was considering trying to break with you guys was the Mosaic puddle boxes with the discos. They're kind of like the hybrid hobby. I believe they have one auto and 10 or 12 different discos and some numbered cards. I guess kind of like an H2 box almost. depending on what products we're discussing. But I might snag 2 or 3 of those and run a break similar to this. It'd be a very similar price point with a little bit of a higher risk or gamble, I guess. Kraft, Monteworthy again, Torrey Horton on the silver, Reed Tucker, Micah Parsons. It'll be interesting because I think by the time, I guess I didn't look in Prism yet, but I think when Optic comes out, Micah might be in a Packer uniform instead of Cowboys. Big Ben, Golden, Tesla, Cam Ward, there we go. Tennessee is on the board. Chris. Olave, Dominic Lovett, Tommy Millott, 2 other guys that I'm not super familiar with. I've heard of Lovett. Name sounds familiar. It looks like Millott is a quarterback. Jettis, Steve Spurrier, that's a neat one. Chimeri, that's a nice hit. Jordan Addison, Johnson, and Kyler. I don't know if McCaffrey passed him or not, but this guy had the yardage lead towards the end of the season in the NFL. Granted, it was a little bit of receiving and all the returns from all the points that the Titans allowed. But Steve Young, Zabel, Calvin Johnson, Peppers, Fields, McLaurin. Quentin Johnson, Hurts, Schlesinger, there we go. T. Higgins, Van Ginkel, and Godwin. Browns getting a little bit of everything. Looks like we got a goofy insert there. Metcalf. Tyler Warren. Colts are on the board. Oh, performers, TJ Watt. Another Jackson Dart. Hopefully we had a couple of the scopes in, a Dart or a Ward or a Shadur. You got another scope here. Neighbors, Franklin, Jaylon Walker. Oh, wrong Titan. Gunnar Helm, Eric Allen, JJ McCarthy. But Titans hits are adding up. Looks like the Bears have punted. Dak, Kyle Williams, Epic Ozzie Newsome, another Shador. Fitz, Bowers, Pat Bryant, McDuffie, Sean McVay, Terry McLaurin. Trevor Etienne, Kyle Hamilton, Jaden Higgins with some base. Sometimes the flashing of the purple makes me think it's, something bigger. Jefferson, Luther Burden, Metcalf, some base. I only brought over 100 top loaders. I might have to potentially get some more. Gary Zabel, Caleb Johnson, Abdul Carter. Nice little stretch of rookies there. Montez Sweat, Weshinger, Mitchell Evans, Adnai, Clowney, Travis Etienne. I think Schwessinger has a bit of a market because I just mentioned he should be Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I don't think he's in much for product. Baker, Jackson Dart, Amon-Ra, Colston Loveland, and some base. I think that, Dart value absolutely went up having some of those Ravens coaches come over. I believe a handful of the free agents from Baltimore are probably going to follow him. Verse, Armstead, Tommy Millott, CeeDee Lamb, and some base. All right, we're almost 4 boxes in. It appears the Bears, the Rams are currently 3rd and 11. All right, box number 5. Rams did punt. Cam Ward, nice hit, and a Jalen Milroe and a Matthew Golden. This is the Forsaken Cam Ward missing the rookie crest. Wes, if you're still in here, what's Darnold's contract over there? Does Milroe have a chance next year? I can't remember if Darnold signed a 3-year deal, or if it was another 1 year like he had Minnesota. Herbert, Mark Brunell, Bumpfield, Zabel, base. Wes getting it done with the Seahawks. Come on, case hit. Let's go, case hit. Hurts, Kyle McCord, Kelvin Banks, Genty, and base. Mike Gesicki, Will Campbell, Kurt Warner, Willis Bijan, Kendra Miller. Zabel, AJ Brown, Saquon, Likely, Patty Mahomes. There's a purple. Shuck. Kyron Williams. Thurman. Oh, it looks like Thurman's a quarterback in that picture. Fresh loaders. Trent Dilfer. Mason Taylor. Jordan Watkins. There we go, San Fran. San Fran has made the board. Man, I didn't get to watch much of the game with having to work all weekend, but it looks like they didn't show up yesterday. Zaire, LaJonte Wester, Derwin James, Jamar, another Shador, LaJonte. I think we're up to 3 Shadors and 5 boxes, 3 darts, 2 Tyler Shucks, and 2 Wards. Travion, Jeff Blake, and Jalen Hurts. Man, it hurts to even consider putting a Jeff Blake in a top loader. No offense to Jeff with the Bengals. Giannu Hairston. Oh, there we go. We got a Jackson Dart on the purple scope. Of course, I just ran out of sleeves in that pack. Awesome hit, Manny. Very awesome hit. And we got to put him in the center, though. There we go. Then everyone can see it. The little sign says this is Manny's. Let's go. Oh, we haven't hit a prism in a while. We got a silver and a prism in this one. Henry, Jalen Royals, Demario Davis, Peyton Manning, Hurts, and Bond. I probably mentioned this a time or two, but I had picked Jalen Royals in a couple of my dynasty leagues, thinking he'd get on the field in that offense, and I don't even know if he... I mean, he could have been hurt or something, but Graham Mertz, Lamar, R.J. Harvey, DeMario, Brian Robinson. I think Harvey gets a huge workload next week. That was goofy looking. Kenny Clark, Donovan Jackson, Kyle Hamilton, Shadeur, and a Bo Nix. Shadeur's on fire. Bears have 4th and 1 on the 32, it looks like. That's Ben Johnson go for it territory. Verse, Kenneth Grant, Armand Membu, Harold Carmichael, Henry, and Jalen Waddle. Chris, I'm sure you really appreciate that Carmichael card. I know as a Madden player, he is a highly sought after player each year. Was he like 6'7" or 6'8" or something crazy? Gunnar Helm, Larry Fitz, base. And the Rams stuffed the Bears. For those paying attention in my live feed, Wes Chandler. I said that guy's name a few times. Donovan Iziriaku. Oh, there we go. Jackson Dart on the Mosaic. And some base. Jackson Dart is on fire in this box. There we go. Boxes 5 and 6 ending out hot. Good work, man. Let's see if the Rams can do something with the ball. All right, boxes 7 and 8. Seeing a lot of Steve Spurrier, Damian Martinez, Jefferson, and a Genty. Any of these, popular vets in those scope cards, trust me, just throw them up on eBay. Really good items to get your store going if you've been hesitant. And also remember to get things listed a couple days a week. Kyle Williams, Stroud, McVay, Disley, Seymour. Maxwell Hairston, Bobby Wagner, Shuck, Saints and Giants really early winners here. And the Browns are doing pretty hot. And Seattle has hit a lot of their rookies. Ty Felton, Jonathan Taylor, Genty again. Even Genty's getting hot. Imanawari, there we go. Elijah Arroyo, Drake May. Drake May could be a Super Bowl MVP in year 2. Will Anderson, Dalton Schultz, Abdul Carter, and some base. Genty, Jimmy Horn, and a Jaden Higgins. I think the probably one of the bigger names we haven't seen yet is McMillan for Carolina. That's the first one that comes to mind anyway. I could be missing somebody. I don't feel like we didn't have many purples in that one. Ollie Gordon, Kyle Hamilton. That stained glass must be a big one because I feel like that box was a dud. Walter Nolan, Mike Singletary. Some base. I'm trying to think of any of the, the rookies, major rookies we haven't seen yet. I guess one other one would be Riley Leonard at the moment, assuming he's in the product. Tyleik Williams, Tez Johnson. There we go. I just kind of was thinking about him too. I had the Bucks stuck in my head. I couldn't remember the name. Forgot Tez. Rondé Gadsden, I didn't even know he was in product. Nice hit. I guess we haven't hit Hampton yet either. Now that I see the Chargers. Trey Harris, Trent Dilfer, another Jackson Dart. There we go. Get us a little bit of love back. Mullins. Oh, there we go. Genty on the Mosaic Prism. Jefferson, some base. A lot of repeat players on our hits, but at least they're decent ones. Does Genty belong up here? We'll put Genty right there. Elick, Juan Jennings. Oh, Travis Hunter. How can I forget him? First Travis Hunter. My apologies, Dave. I completely forgot about Jacksonville. Ollie Gordon, Gadsden, there we go. Chargers get a little bit of love. Hairston, CJ Stroud, Tyler Shuck. All right, we got 2 boxes to go. Hopefully we got a case hit in here somewhere. Maybe an auto. An auto would be great. Even if it was an NIL auto, an Arch or a Raiola. Those are the only 2 I'm aware of that are in it. speaking of Raiola, I personally think it's quite funny that he committed himself to Oregon, and then Dante Moore decided that he wanted to return. Because who would have, thought that number 1/number 2 prospect in Dante Moore wasn't going to go to the league? So Raiola thinks he's going to, slide in and be the next Oregon transfer quarterback, and he gets kind of hosed, and who knows what happens with him now. Alright, good luck everyone. We're down to our last 2 boxes before we hit our oversized glasses. Giddens, Will Shields, Judkins. Did the Bears just go for it on 4th down and leave points on the board again? Graham Mertz, Joey B, Bill Cowher. Oh, they got the points this time. 10-7 Bears. Jadon Blue. Ibuka, that's another rookie that slipped my mind. Sorry, Manny. You had too much, I guess he really kind of was really peaked and then, kind of struggled towards the end of the year for whatever reason. After being, pretty hot item in the beginning of the year. Dante Thornton, Cam Ward on the notoriety, and some base. This Robert Brazil card's all beat up. The corner on this Cam Ward's a little bent too. I don't know if you can see on there, but that pack looked like someone ran over the corner. Taj Brooks, Jamal Charles, base. Membu, Jackson Dart on the notoriety. Zabel, I feel like I've been saying that name a lot. Weshinger, Matthew Golden, that's a new name at least, as of late. Man, let's hit some big purple scopes in here. Mason Graham, that's a new name. Lattimore, Tyler Warren, Travis. Oh wow, what a pack! 4 hits in that pack. I haven't seen this card yet. I really like that. It looks like it's from the NFL Premier Pictures, but just looking up into outer space. Another Travis Hunter is nice. And I love Mason Graham. Kyle Williams. Mitchell Evans. Some base. Jalen Milroe, Sam Darnold on the notoriety, and some base. All right, last few packs. Let's go. Let's get some huge purples, some case hits. Terrence Ferguson. We got Cam Miller, not Cam Ward, unfortunately. It was someone new, though. And he could be the guy next year. Who knows? I think the Geno experiment went wrong. Abdul Carter. Jamar Chase. On the Epic Performer. 3 to go. We had so many hot boxes in the beginning. Harold Fannin, there we go. That's a new name. Puka. Oh, man. Quentin Martin. Last 3 packs on the auto with a Travis Hunter. I'm not sure who Quentin Martin is. It looks like an NIL card, though. It looks like a Penn State jersey. I'm just not as familiar with all the college names. But we got an auto. We got a randomizer. Man, the Browns really do have 5 decent rookie chases. 6 decent rookie chases in this product. Scattaboo. It's our first Scattaboo. Slipped my mind, too. Gibbs. Nice hit, Detroit. Haven't had a whole lot of love for Detroit. Jake with the hit. Scattaboo. Looks like I was somewhat predicting a time frame right. We'll be done right around halftime. I'll be able to watch the second half. All right, last regular pack here. We unfortunately did not get to case it tonight, other than our jumbos. But we did end with a Gadsden, Genty, Travis Hunter pack. And we did have an auto in this last box. I won't do a complete recap of all of these. I mean, we're still going to do the big glasses, of course, but it's a lot of cards to recap. These are the major rookies and some of the prisms. These are just purples, and there's a chance I mixed a couple of them up. All right, 7-10, and the Rams have the ball in the red zone, it looks like. See if I can get a random number generator up quick. Maybe. My phone says the server cannot be found. Siri, can you tell me a number between 1 and 32? 19, according to Siri, if you can all see that. I'll count down the list, 19, and that will be for our Quentin Martin card. I'm trying to find out who Quentin Martin is, but my Safari isn't working. So number 19 will go to the Rams and to Jake. So nice hit there on the auto. Just gotta do this quick so I don't forget. No, not that one. Pretty sweet name there. Congrats, Jake. Alright, let me grab the oversized loaders. Make a little bit of space. You guys have been pretty quiet in the chat tonight, but that's alright. I know there's games on. Easy. We got our photograph sleeves and our big loaders. These truly work so much better than the ones that Jordan Love is in. Such a big difference. So here's our 10 stained glasses. So let's go one at a time. Right to sleeve, right to top loader. I'll try to do my best to keep them a surprise. Without just showing it right off the bat. These are all stained glasses. Judkins, our first one, going out to Cleveland. As if Cleveland didn't need any more love in this break. Nice hit, Wes. I'll actually top load them after because top loading takes a little bit, but I'll get them in the sleeves right away. Number 2, Caleb Johnson, going out to Pittsburgh. There you go, Wes. We're going to be saying Wes's name a lot for this, since he closed out the last couple teams. He's 2 for 2 so far. Hopefully he's building the rainbow. I know he builds sets and different, or not rainbow, but complete sets. He does do that. All right, number 3, stained glass. This is gonna be upside down because I didn't flip it. McCaffrey, nice hit. Going up to Brian. Brian's first break with me. Brian, if you didn't know, Michael as well. You guys are both first-time breakers with me. I know you broke with Josh, I would assume, but I do ship from a different location if you want to make sure I get your address at some point. All right, number 4. Patty Mahomes. That's a nice hit. There we go, Dave. Shipping these oversized ones does get difficult's not the right word. It's not so much challenging either. But when you have, I'll put this in the top loader and then, onto some cardboard just so they don't bend. But then you get a couple team bags of cards in it too. And it gets tricky. I think last time with the Costco boxes, I had to send Wes 2 different packages. Alright, I think we're halfway. Milrow. Wes with another one. That was halfway. 5 to go. We'll pull this one off the bottom. It looked like it was ready. Nice seeing a couple teams that didn't hit in the break hit these. Matthew Golden. Man, that looks really good up there. Nice hit, Craig. Packers were pretty quiet in this break. Travis Hunter, there we go, Jacksonville. Dave's got a couple oversized glasses coming his way. Three to go. Cam Ward, nice. I was just gonna say, hopefully we get a Ward, so we hit, and then a dart, so we cover all of our bases with the bigger teams. We hit Cleveland, we hit Jacksonville, we hit Tennessee. Chris with the big one. 2 to go. Hopefully one's a dart or a Genty for our guy Sean. Patty Mahomes. I guess if we're going to get a double and a vet, I'm glad it's him. I haven't looked into how much these things cost, but 2 of these might have covered that break spot. I think the Golden, I paid for Golden when he was in a bit of a slump, but even that was still 10 or 12 bucks. And if you guys are selling these on eBay, you can send these in a standard envelope. If you have any questions, ask me. Alright, last stained glass. Let's see how we finish the break. Another Cam Ward. Nice hit, Chris. Double Cam Ward on the oversized glasses. Made up for a little bit less of him and no color in the regular break, or in the regular size cards with that double. Overall, pretty great break. I'll just run through these top dozen here. And should be packaging these up over the next 2 days. I don't work the next 2 days, so hopefully I can have these ready to go by Wednesday. It is 500 cards, but we should be all right. All right, so these are our monster hits. We'll say for some retail. We hit Shuck on the purple, a couple Jacks and Darts, dark purple, Baron on the purple, Jackson Dart on the Prism, Genty on the Prism, Mahomes. I don't know why Watson is in there. That was a mistake. Those are our major hits. We did hit that Quinshawn Martin auto. Let's see where that's going out to Jake. Quinton Martin is indeed the running back at Penn State. He is returning to Penn State, so you got a whole nother year for that card to grow in value. I think Penn State should be a contender again. They played pretty good even without their quarterback this year. Anyways, happy Sunday. Looking forward to championship weekend next weekend. National championship for college tomorrow. We'll get these out to you guys. Thank you guys for everything you do. Thank you for being here in the first funky break of 2026. And I'll see you guys in the next one.